everyone, welcome back to another podcast episode. This is episode 38. Yes, 38. I'm looking at my notes, and this is the Ollie and Bella podcast, and my name is Cherie, and this is my podcast all about knitting, crochet, other crafts. I say other crafts, I mainly chat about knitting and crochet, and a little bit about TV, books, maybe some other random bits and bobs that I chat about. It's been a while. I know I said that last time, but life has just been really busy. We've had the summer holidays. They're now over with, sadly. As much as I love the summer holidays, I must admit, I love them because for me, having young children, it's nice not to be, I don't know, how can I say this? Like worry about routine so much. You can be a little bit more relaxed and haven't got to think about school uniforms, pack lunches, that type of thing. Although I do only have one in primary school now and two in secondary. Well, actually, come to think of it, I've got one in primary, one in secondary and one in sixth form now, because since I last filmed the previous episode, Oliver is my eldest. He's 17 and he is now in sixth form. Oh my days. Yeah, I still can't talk properly. He is in sixth form, studying his A-levels. So, but anyway, it's still nice that you can be nice and relaxed in the summer holidays, and you know, haven't got to be so tied down to, you know, being at school for a certain time and all that. I'm rambling on as always, but anyway, if this is the first time you're watching, a very warm welcome to you, and if you are crazy enough to come back and watch me again, then thank you so much. We do have a laugh over here, don't we? I have got some finished objects, I've got some whips to share with you, I've got some lovely new yarns to show you, because I went to the Southern Wool Show, which was so much fun. I loved that. Yeah, I think that is what is on the agenda for today's episode. But if this is the first time you're watching, you can find me on Instagram as Ollie and Bella. You can find me on Ravelry as Ollie and Bella. Goodreads, I'm on there. I think that's it. I think that's like the main places that you will see me, and on my Patreon channel. So I know my lovely Patreon viewers, some of the things that I'm going to be sharing and chatting about, they would have already seen, but I have made progress on a few things. So if you are signed up to my Patreon, there is going to be some progress. I did manage to finish Jessie's socks, if you're wondering, but I will share that with you in a bit. I've got notes with me, thankfully, because I've got a head like a sieve and I'll forget everything. But I'm going to start off with whips first of all. I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee because I'm being nosy. I'm in my front room. I was going to film in the kitchen. I'm either normally in my front room or in the kitchen, but it's quite a grey, dull day here today, and the light wasn't brilliant in the kitchen, so I thought maybe I'll come in the front room. But I do live on a busy main road, so forgive me if you can hear a bit of traffic in the background. First up, I have got a hat, and this is the Hipster hat by Petite Knit. I'm sure lots of you have already seen this hat. It's a very popular hat in the knitting community. And I even printed out the front page. I thought I did. I did, it's here. It's a nice simple ribbed hat, but I really like how the decreases on the crown look on this particular design. Pop that in there. And this is the yarn that I'm using, and it is the Double Sunday by Petite Knit, which is the Sadness Garn yarn. Oh dear. It's this yarn, and it's in the shade Statement Green. And when I was filming this for my Patreon video, when I was chatting about it, my camera does not want to show you the correct shade. It kind of throws it out a little bit, so it doesn't give you, doesn't matter if I come up close. Oh, I don't know actually, don't look too bad there. Doesn't look too bad at all. I have got a little bit left from the first ball. Spitting on myself now. It's very professional over here, as you can tell. I'm getting so excited I'm starting to spit on myself. I have literally got this much left from the first ball of yarn. They are 50-gram balls, but you only need 2. Now, I've got a feeling the reason I have 3 is because I planned to knit a different hat, which was also a petite knit. Was it the Stockholm hat? I can't remember. I might have started it, or maybe I looked at it and thought it was just, it seemed too fiddly for me. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but this particular hat, the Hipster hat, you only need 100 grams. So the chances are I am only going to need 2 balls, which means I've got 1 ball left. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I might make some wrist warmers for Jessie. I'm not sure, but I'm knitting the adult size hat. Or what did it say in terms of size? Because you probably need to know that if you're interested. I'm knitting the 3rd size, so it should be okay for me. Although I look at it and I know it does stretch out. Might be that Jessie can fit in it as well. And I've got this cute little pumpkin house progress keeper on there, which was part of a lovely swap package that I did with my friend Kim, 3 by the Sea. And there's not really much more to say about this. I am knitting it on Chow Goose 3.5. I'm literally copying the pattern to the T. So I'm using the recommended needle size, and that's it. Hoping that'll be done soon. I can't imagine it's going to take a long time because it's DK as well. It shouldn't take long to whip up that one because I've got a really lovely hat pattern and I've got the yarn for it and I can't wait to cast it on, which I will share that with you in a bit when we get onto that section. Next up, I have this lovely new project bag which I bought at the Southern Wool show, and it's by the brand, if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, is it Mood? I can't remember the name of the bag. It did have a particular name. Was it the Danza bag? I think the name of the stall I bought it from, I think it was called Dina's Crafts. And I've actually purchased needles from her before online, and her store was lovely. Everybody was so friendly at the wool show. And she had this particular bag in black and tan, and I kept going around and I kept saying, I'll come back in a minute, if it's still there I'll buy it. The tan went and the black was left, and so I bought the black one, and I'm so glad I did because this came with me to Disneyland and it was perfect. Because if you enjoy knitting on the go, it has a really nice wrist strap, it's a nice size. Yeah, it looks really nice because it's nice and plain, so if you didn't want to particularly, you know, walk around, I mean, it doesn't bother me if I walk around with like a patterned bag or anything, but with it being leather as well, I just thought it would be good if I had to put it down on a table or anything, I'd be able to wipe it. I guess that's the only thing with like a fabric bag, isn't it? You wouldn't want any marks or anything to get on it. I know you could wash it, but definitely recommend this one, and it's really nice inside. The lining inside is really nice. There's a zip pocket as well as an open pocket. Yeah, so there's that little new purchase to show you. Now in here are socks. I don't know why that's in there. Are socks that I took with me to Disney, and I couldn't decide whether or not to take these with me or Jessie's, and I took both. But these were the only socks that I actually did knit on. And I quickly, literally, before I got the camera and got everything ready for the podcast, I just Kitchenered the toe on these so I could show you them. And this toe is a new toe that I've not done before, and it's called the cottage toe. And this is part of the pattern, which is the Prairie socks by Kay Jones. And it is such a lovely texture. The first time I've made these socks. And I did everything apart from, I did not do the heel. For some unknown reason, I'm not a big fan of the, oh, what's it called? Eye of Partridge heel. Now to look at, I think it looks lovely. So it's not, for me, it's not because of the way it looks, but the last time I knitted that particular heel, it looked horrendous. It looked awful. Yeah, Eye of Heart, yeah, that's it. I want to call it Pie of Partridge. It's Eye of Heart. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that heel that I'm trying to talk about, I can't even say, can't even pronounce it. We won't even talk about it. Anyway, I don't like it because my brain can't fathom it, and for some unknown reason, I always make a mistake on that particular heel, so I don't use that heel. But it looks lovely, and if you like using that heel, well done to you. Pat on the back, because for some unknown reason I can't manage to do it. So for this one, I wanted something quick and simple, and something that I have memorized and I don't need to check is the shadow wrap heel. And this heel is by, or the tutorial that I learned from was, oh my gosh, my brain is like mashed potato. Denise, Earth Tones Girl, yes, from Denise. And it's such a lovely heel. It fits my heel really nicely, and it means that I can crack on with the foot of the sock and get on with it, basically. Look at my cute little progress keeper. I thought that was perfect to take with me to Disney. This is the yarn. I've got a nice amount of yarn left for the second sock, and the colourway is Frosty Pumpkin Cider. This was a gift from Deborah from Candy Shop Yarns, and I've had this in my stash for a really long time, and I thought, because of the time of the year and over in Disney everything was Halloween themed, it was amazing, the park looked fantastic. I will pop some footage at the end of the podcast so that you can have a look, and I just thought it was perfect. So I probably did, I think I cast the cuff on when we travel on our way to travelling there, and then I did all of the leg, I did the heel, and then I did a little bit of the foot, not much. And then since being home, I think most of this weekend, I managed to finish the foot and the toe. I managed to do this morning actually. So that is the first one done. And these socks, when they're finished, they're going to be my autumn Halloween socks for this year. Such a lovely texture. It feels really lovely, and it was, even though it's a 4-ply yarn, it feels so nice. The needles that I used, because I had this discussion on Patreon, I wasn't sure what to do in terms, because we flew and everyone had suggestions, and quite a few suggested wooden needles. These are definitely my favourite. I ordered some Knit Pro Symphonies, but I didn't get on with them. I didn't like them, and they have a really nice point to them, and they just feel really nice. This is the packaging, and they are 2.25s. Did I say chow goo? What did I say they were called? That's right, the other day I said they were called clover. They're not, they're chow goo. I don't know, I can't even remember if I said that or not. Oh dear. Oh dearie dear. What else? Oh, wait till you see this. You're going to have a right laugh in a minute. You wait. So I had a magic knot ball that I made earlier this year. I can't remember now. And then I was having a good sort out of all my yarns. I laid them all over the rug. I had yarns, like mainly leftovers, any that had been sent to me from friends, any clubs that I'd joined to. I had some homespun house minis that were Patreon minis that I wound up that I want to add to my patchwork blanket, which I'm not going to show you that today because I've not added anything to it. And I just sorted them out because I thought rather than them just be in a mess, if I could get them a little bit more organised, I'm more likely to pick up a project if it's more tidier and organised. And I had so many, and some were just not really going to be used for anything, and I thought I'd make another magic knot ball. So let me go and grab the project. Yeah, prepare yourselves. I was going to weigh them. I might go and quickly weigh them. Are you ready? I have been and weighed them, and this is them. So this one weighs 250 grams, and this one weighs 243. I am holding them both together, holding them double, and I'm putting them into my granny crochet rectangle blanket, which I can't decide if I want to keep it or not. I loved working this up and I used the Blush Yarns advent calendar when I first started this blanket, and I loved it. It was lovely. And then it looked, I mean, when you look at it like this, it looks really nice. And then I started adding more to it, and then I kind of like, I just fell out of love with it, really. I'd looked at it and I thought I'd never really probably put that on the back of my sofa, and I just thought life's too short, isn't it, to be working on projects that don't appeal to you. And I'm trying really hard this year to get some really long-standing whips finished and done, but still want to be able to knit and use the yarns that I've got in my cabinet. So I'm still undecided what to do. I hold it like that, it looks quite nice. And the hook that I'm using a size 4 crochet hook. So part of me thought, carry on, just use these up, and then when I finish with these, just stop then. If I fancy putting a border on it, I will. If I don't, then so be it. But it is quite big. That's how big it is. Those yarns look really nice. Blimey, 20 minutes already. Next whip. What have I done with my notes? Where are my notes? I think it's another sock. So I've shown you the hipster hat, the prairie socks, the crochet granny rectangle blanket. I've got my cinema socks. I don't think, no, these definitely weren't cast on when I showed, when I last filmed. I have, I'd say all but done the sock. I just need to do the toe now. This yarn, should I say, was in a swap that I did with Malene from the Playful Knitter, and it's this really lovely rustic commercial yarn which is self-striping, and it's been absolutely lovely to knit on. I did a little bit longer cuff than I normally do. I can't remember how many rounds I did for that. I don't know, did I do a project page for this? I can't remember now. And then I've done a nice long leg, and then the heel was a heel that I did after watching Malene's podcast. Oh, forgive me because I can't remember the name of the heel. I'll pop it on the screen and I'll leave a link to it down below, but it's one which Malene has used and uses often. I like how it's a garter, it looks like garter stitches. Well, not looks like garter stitches, it is garter stitches. But it's really unusual how I've done it before, because it has a little bit of a gusset decrease here. It's really interesting. Oh, delivery van outside. And it reminds me of the shadow wrap heel as well. So I thought I'd try that. It's nice to do something a bit different, isn't it? So I've done the foot, and I think maybe just a few more rounds and then I'll be at the toe. Now I haven't even tried the Prairie socks on with the cottage toe, but I'm gonna try them on and see how they look. And if I like how they look and how they fit, I might do a cottage toe on this one. But I did make a little note actually of all the films, and I swear that I'm missing some films. I need to ask Jamie actually. We became cinema members, so we've got a pass for Cineworld Unlimited, and I only ever knit on these socks when I'm at the cinema, so they are my cinema socks. And this project bag, oh, I love it so much. Malene made me, and I've got my little lavender sachet in there. This is the label actually for the yarn. It is 75.25. Yes, so I made a note of all the films that I have been to watch where I've knitted on these socks, and they are Garfield, Beetlejuice. I didn't think that film was that good, if I'm honest. Yeah, I think I'd go as far to say I was a little bit disappointed in that. 200% Wolf. Some of these are children's films. I tend to take Jessie to watch the film, like a cinema, watch a film at the weekend. Lee, I went to watch that. That was really good. Sad, but really good, with Kate Winslet in. And we went on Friday to watch Wild Robot. And oh my days, that film was beautiful. It was amazing, and I cried. Even Jessie, bless her, she cried as well. It was so lovely. I didn't realise that the film was based on a book, and when I looked it up, I've got it written down. I was going to chat to you about this at the end. I might as well chat to you now. It's part of a three book series, so which I'm really hoping that means that they'll do the other 2 books, they'll make them into movies as well. And Rotten Tomatoes, which is a review website where they collate reviews from critics, from the public, and they review movies or TV shows, and they gave it 98%, which is amazing. I don't think I've seen a film rate that high on there before. And if you have not been to watch it and you've got the opportunity to go and watch it, I definitely recommend you go watch it. It's such a lovely, lovely film. It's sad, but it's lovely. It's really lovely. It's annoying me that I can't remember the other movies, but yeah, so they're my cinema socks. What is the other thing that I wanted to chat to you about? My corner to corner blanket. Now, I've not added any more to it, but I have got some minis to show you. I've got a feeling I was maybe halfway through one of the squares, maybe one of these I was halfway through, but I've got I've got 6 months there, and I've got another 3 months that I need to add to. So I've got my July minis to wind up and add to the blanket. Oh, look at them. August. And I'm going to show you September, because I would have thought everybody would have had them by now, because we're nearly in November, aren't we? Oh, the mini's come undone. Isn't that annoying when that happens? I just got to sort that out. And then I've got the September minis to add, which I'm gonna wind them up when I'm probably editing this podcast, hopefully. And this pattern is it's a tutorial that I have followed from YouTube, from the Spider Fibre channel, and it's called the Corner to Corner Join As You Go pattern. So I will add a link to that one down below. Let's talk about socks. I have 4 socks here to show you that I've finished. I've got 2 for me, 2 for Jessie, 2 of which you would have seen from the previous episode. So let me start off with them. I finished my Advent socks, and the yarn for these was by the Yarn Badger, and it was the 2023 Advent self-striping yarn. And I did a traditional heel flapping gusset, heel turn, and I knit these 2 at a time, if you can remember, if you watched the previous episode, and that was really, really fun. I really enjoyed that. That's making me think maybe my next pair, I might do that. They're not going to be self-striping though, that's the only thing. Not that it matters, you haven't got to just have only knit 2 at a time for self-striping, but I think it was really handy to do that because these were, the yarn for these was split into 2 50-gram balls, which was really handy. I got them, they're all done. And then I finished my Disney socks, and I was able to take these with me to Disneyland Paris and wear them over there, which was brilliant. They kept my feet very warm. And the pattern for this was the Serene socks by Kim Craddock of 3 by the Sea. And this was the yarn that I also knitted was dyed by Kim, and it was her Tea in Wonderland sock set. So I think the main colour was Tea in Wonderland, and then the black contrasting mini was Stark Raven Mad. Love them. I've got a nice little bit of this colour yarn left over, which is nice. And the texture of the pattern. If you like textured patterns, you'd really like this. Really lovely. I'm tempted to cast on some DK socks as well, and maybe try the pattern out, because the pattern is written for 4-ply fingering and DK weight. The next 2 were done for Jessie, and I literally this week finished her Halloween socks. Oh, her feet look really diddy like that, don't they? And they look bigger with these. You wouldn't think they're for the same child. I asked Jessie to pick some yarn out from my yarn cabinet, and she picked some green yarn. She wanted them to be her Slytherin socks. That's what she's called these. They're just a broken rib. And I did a contrasting heel. No, this is a cuff. I did, for the cuff, the heel and the toe, I used a Nora George yarn, and that was Fleur Delacour, I think. And that was a Harry Potter colourway. I thought it was really nice to pick the 2. So, and Jessie had picked the 2, which was nice. I did kind of prompt her to say that this one was a Harry Potter themed yarn. The heel was a new to me heel that I'd not done before, and it was from a collection that I purchased on Ravelry, which was the Coffee Shop socks, I think. Oh no, they're called the Coffee Order socks by Lindsay Fowler. I can show you the patterns. I quite fancy doing a little picot cuff. I think that would be nice. I've not made a cuff like that before. It's showing on screen there. Oh, look at that heel. That's the eye of partridge, or I want to call it pie of partridge. Isn't that in a nursery rhyme? The King. Oh, what's that song I'm thinking of? Oh, okay. It's Sing a Song of Sixpence, a pocket full of rye. 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. Now wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? Right, well that's a different bird. That's a blackbird. Is there a blackbird heel? Maybe I should come up with my own variation of a heel and I'll call it the blackbird heel. Right, anyway. So that's them. Right, just had a funny 5 minutes. Next up, I've literally finished these over the weekend for Jessie, and these are going to be her Halloween socks. I love the yarn, Stripey Cat's yarn, and I bought this really lovely project bag from Paula, stitched by Mrs. D. I loved watching Paula's September vlogs, and I couldn't resist this one. I kind of wish I bought one of the black fluffy cat bags now. I do wish I'd got one of them. Maybe next year, if she does them again, hopefully she'll do them again, maybe I'll get one next year. Because they looked lovely, they looked really nice. Oh, I wonder if she could get any brown fur. And I could ask if she'd make me one, and I could call it my Molly bag, couldn't I? It could be based on Molly. Anyway, and this is the project bag that I used to put Jessie's socks in. I've got this much of the yarn left. This was the contrast that I used for the heel and for the toe. And then obviously this is, whoops, that's gone. I ain't getting that. That was the main part. Sadly, Sarah does not dye yarn at the minute. She's not done that for a while now. And the colourway was I Put a Spell on You. So it was a 50-gram sock set. And yeah, that's it. She is gonna love putting them on when she gets home from school later on. And look at this really sweet needle case for my DPNs. I bought this, if it wants to show you. There you go, look at those cute faces. I bought this from the Southern Wool Show from Jo, who is an absolute dear. She is so sweet, she's so lovely. And I love that. I'd probably use that all year round. Right, put that down there. So that's done. The final finish object that I want to show you is the Crochet Stripe Granny Shawl, and this is by Moran from Crochet Objet, and I was lucky enough to be one of Moran's crochet testers, to be able to test the pattern. It is such a lovely shawl, and I know some of you might be thinking what's different about it, and the way the pattern is written, it's really clever. She's added some shaping into the shoulders, which is really nice. So if you're sat of an evening, or just during the day, it doesn't have to be the evening, does it? But if you are cold and you want to wear it and wrap it around you like this, the way it hugs your shoulders, it feels really nice the way the pattern is written. So you do need to do some shaping around the shoulder area. And let me come up a bit closer. There's some really sweet edging on the side. I've got this back to front. There you go. So you've got some cute little shells that run down the side, down that side, and then they meet up here. I mean, you could carry on if you wanted and have it all the same colour, but I chose for a different colour along the longest part of the shawl, which is the main edge, and I went for this really nice pop of pink. But it's great for using up scraps. You can make it as big as you like, and I can't recommend it enough. It'd make great little presents for people. I plan to make another one, but I would like to make it deeper. So I think I did this to the pattern, but I would probably add more onto it. But having said that, it means that it's nice. It's not too big, too much, well, too bulky for around your neck. I did make this one in mind for Jessie. So when we go for our walks in the evening, she can put this on and it adds like a nice little pop of colour. How fun is that? I got lipstick on it, hey. No. I think it looks great. Like pop of colour. Love that pink. That's great. There is a project page for this with a link. So go and have a little look if you're after a quick little project, which requires using up leftovers. Another reason why I was sorting out leftovers as well. So loved making that. That's it, we're done. We have done all of the whips, all of the finished objects, and future plans. I want to talk to you about that next, which kind of ties in with new purchases. So I took this bag with me to the Southern Wool show, and I will also add some clips of that on the end as well. Yeah, I'll add that on the end so you can have a little look at that. I had such a lovely weekend. It was lovely meeting up with friends and meeting new friends. I went with Stacey, who hosts the Heartmore podcast. I'm sure you would have heard me chat about Stacey before, and I know she's recently done a podcast. So if you're looking for somebody, if you're not already following Stacey and you're looking for somebody new to go and watch, I know I'm going to recommend her because she's my friend, but she does have me in stitches. She is so funny. And yeah, we had such a lovely time. I was very good with my purchases. I know I've shown you one of them, which was the black mood bag. Just grabbing the other bits now. Here's the leaflet. I will start off with this one because I did say future plans. Look at this beautiful yarn. Isn't it gorgeous? I would really like to cast on the Malene hat by Sari Nordland, and it is from her Softly Timeless Knits book. It requires, the hat itself requires 4-ply fingering weight yarn, and it says here, it says the hat uses a strand of fingering weight yarn held together with a strand of lace weight yarn, but they can be substituted for a single strand of DK weight yarn. But one of the samples, the cream one there, has mohair, and that's why I bought the mohair to go with it as well. I spent ages deciding on this, and I dragged Stacey around all of the stalls. And in the end, I went with this one from Bird Street Yarns, and it is called Kelly. It's from their Vogue range. There's so many noisy vans outside. Yeah, it's from their Vogue range, and it is on their yak base. So pretty. I wanted a burgundy colour, and I feel like I've literally got they're perfect for one another. Hopefully that's showing up. The mohair is from Skein Queen, but the two of them together are perfect. I love them so much that I can't wait to cast these on, and I'm not going to cast the hat on until I've finished the hipster hat. But I think this will be a good, take the glasses off. I think it will be a good colour for me. Do you think? What was funny is I had just changed my watch strap, and I was using this watch strap, this colour, to be my reference for trying to find the best colours. that's that one that I got. Next up, I picked up this opal yarn, and Stacey also got a commercial yarn, and these, I can't remember what Stacey got now, if she got an opal one or if she got a different commercial one. We bought them from the same stand, and these will be known as our Southern Wool Show socks, and it's from, what's it say here, Country Western Swing. Probably just do a vanilla sock with this one. So I've got that one, and I've got some needle protectors because I really don't have many needle protectors at all, and I got these from Bellica Yarns. I don't think it's going to show up very well, but I love how they're in a tin. How clever is that? Makes so much sense. I opted for these colours because these are my type of colours. And then Stacey got a tin, and in hers she picked up the one that had blues. Did it have a purple in it? Blue, purple, black, white, I think. I wonder if it'll do, if I can show you that way. That was a sensible purchase. Then we bumped into Beks from Beks Creates, and she very kindly gave me this sparkly project. What am I saying? Progress Keeper. Look how sparkly that is. I don't think my camera likes how sparkly it is. Can't focus on it. Oh yeah, it can it? Anyway, it's really sparkly. I love it. So that was really nice, meeting up with Beks. Then I've got one more. I don't think I'm missing anything else in terms of purchases. I've got this. Oh my days. If you could, I wish you could smell it. It's so sheepy and rustic. Did I put the tag in here? The lady was so lovely. Everybody was lovely. We were chatting to her for ages. I don't think I did. Oh, I did. Sue, that was the lady's name, Sue. And she was explaining to me and Stacey that instead of colourways, the names of the yarn is based on the name of her sheep. And this one is called Bambi. I don't know how you describe the colour. It's like a minky shade. Would you say mink? Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It is approximately 100 grams. It's 300 metres, and it's a DK weight yarn. It's 100% Welsh wool, and it says it's a limited batch, and it's spun using the fleece of Bambi, which is their black Welsh mountain lamb. And she even had pictures of all the lambs as well. Stacey got exactly the same one, and we actually planned to knit the same shawl with it, which is also from the same book. If I can quickly show you, if I can find it. Oh, I don't think I'm going to pronounce it, mind. I'm not going to try to, but it's that one there. It looks really pretty. I really like the cables. It looks like cables, doesn't it? God, that cat. Right, let me go sort the cat out. We're nearly done. Sorry for the interruptions. I think I've now settled her down. I've given her some chicken, so I'm hoping she will settle down. I think I was just about to show you these two beautiful skeins of yarn that was very kindly donated to the podcast for prizes. This one is by Bird Street Yarns, and it is in their colourway Cinnamon Snow, and it's a very pretty soft muted dusky pink, and it has these really beautiful speckles. Yeah, beautiful. So thank you. Claire said when I was over visiting, Claire said I could, she said pick a skein for a prize for the podcast. So I've got that one there to add to the cabinet. And then I was visiting Stevie's stall from Created Yarn Co. And I know you're like thinking, come on, Sheree, you could have at least picked a different, like, they're very similar, aren't they? This one is, I would say it's more of a deeper pink, more of a deeper rose. Well, it's actually called Secondhand Rose, this one. I'd say it's more of a deeper dusky pink. And look at that contrast there with the like brown, like a rusty brown. That's beautiful. So thank you so much for those beautiful yarns. So I will add them. I'm not sure what giveaway or anything. I need to think what we can do maybe, but I will have them safely squirreled away. Next up, I have, just make sure I've got everything here. I have these really lovely, sweet little 25-gram mini skeins that were sent to me from John Arbon Textiles. They got in contact with me and asked if I would like to try out their new Aran weight yarn from their Appledore range. Now, in their Appledore range, the yarn available is currently in a lace weight and a DK weight, but you can now get it in an Aran weight, which is what this one and this one is. And I've got these two here. This is in the colourway Quench, and look at those colours. Oh, they're beautiful. Yellows, blue, pink, and then this one is Slack My Girdle. The names on the shade card have really, they've made me giggle when I've looked at them. Look at this one, look at all the different colours in this one, and I like how it gives that heathered, it says it in my notes here, it gives like a heathered, you've got like a nice heathered hue to it, and you've got, it feels rustic, you kind of got that, I don't know if it's going to show on camera, got like that fuzzy halo to it, which is really nice. And they are 25 grams, which is 41 meters. And did I say that it's 40% Devon close wool, 40% Romney, and 20% Exmoor Blueface? And I've got these two lovely little mini skeins. I'm not sure what to make with them. Let me know if you've got any ideas what I can do with these. So I've got those two. And the other two that they popped in for me, which was really sweet of them, they popped in these two, which is from their Yarnadelic, which is a sport weight stroke heavy 4-ply weight. I've got this one here, which is called the Beautiful Ones, and you get 83 meters for 25 grams. Love this one. These colors on this, and this feels so much softer. I mean, this one is still soft, but if you had to compare them, you can probably see on camera that the Yarnadelic is softer. It's 100% Falklands Corriedale, it says, for the Yarnadelic. The colours are very similar, actually, aren't they? Yes, so this is the Beautiful Ones. That's the label there. The branding and the label is lovely, it's really nice. And it's all made in the UK, and you can actually visit their mill, which I've not visited, and it is it's in Devon, which is where I live in Devon, so maybe I need to make a trip there and have a look, because they have open days as well. And this is in the colourway Pink Moon. Beautiful colour for autumn, beautiful rusty colour. Like a warm auburn rust, really beautiful, really lovely. So thank you so much for sending them to me. And they very kindly have set up a discount code. So I will pop that on the screen. If you are interested in trying their new Appledore Aran, if you pop the code in, you will get 10% off. And I will leave a link down below to John Arbon Textiles. And you can also follow them on Instagram as well. So have a little look. That's my shade card. They're so funny, some of these on here. Really funny. Lovely colours, really lovely colours. See if I can do a close-up for you so you can see them. So that's it. I totally forgot. I totally forgot to show you these that have been in my stash for ages. You would have seen them before, but these two sock sets are going to be caked up this week. I'm going to finally cake up this beautiful yarn, which has been in my stash for ages. And this is a homespun house, and it is gingerbread house and twig. And I cannot wait to cast this on. I am going to be full on in Christmas sock knitting mode. So I'm going to cast them on, and then I'm also going to cast this one, which is Holly Crown, on a sparkle base, and this is by Green Lambkin Yarns. Look at those colours. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. And this one comes with 2 minis. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to knit the socks solely in the main colour or if I use the contrasting minis with them. I might do, I'm not sure yet. I think I'm probably going to knit the Prairie socks. Did I write down what other socks I might knit? I think it was Prairie ones. Do I want to do all 3 as Prairie socks? I need to have another look for another textured pattern. And I need to, I'm going to also make Jessie some Christmas socks as well. So I think what I'll do is I'll let her pick first. And because I know I can get a pair of socks for me out of a skein, and I can get a pair of little shorties for Jessie as well. Especially if I use contrasting minis in that. And the final one that I'm going to be casting on soon is for Isabel. When we were away in Disney, she saw that I was knitting on the pumpkin socks for myself, and she really liked the pattern, and I said, why don't you let me knit you some socks? And she was like, no, they always feel too rough, they don't feel soft. And I said I had this skein of yarn, and she loves Twilight. I love Twilight. I tend to only watch it this time of year, and I said that I had this one, which was based on Jacob. It's called Jacob Black, and this is by Bumblebee Acres. Again, I've had this in my stash for a while. I did a swap with Sam, and she very kindly popped a skein of this in the swap package, and it's so soft. And the reason being is because it's got silk in it. So it's 80% superwash merino, 20% silk. It says it's a fingering weight. It says it's a 2-ply. I love their yarns. Their yarns, the way they feel, and how this is a 2-ply, but it still feels so plump, is so lovely. It's so nice. So I'm going to knit the Prairie socks for her with this one. So I need to cake that up and cast it on. I might do that on Friday. I might do that towards the end of the week actually, and put the Twilight movies on. And I also want to get these caked up, but I'm not sure, still not sure about if I'm going to do Prairie for all 3 of them. Is that a little bit overboard? Maybe I'll have a look in my library of pattern socks and see. Yeah, I'll have a little think. I think that's it. I think we finally got to the end, and I know this is going to be a really long episode, but never mind. I'm just looking at my notes. I'm just glancing to the side of me, and I've put down about the cinema. I spoke to you about Wild Robot. Books, I've been reading I finished the Twisted Love series. I really enjoyed that series. Some of the books are mega spicy, I will just say. If you like a bit of spice in your books, you might enjoy them. Some of them probably are a little bit too much for me personally, but I still wanted to know how the story ended, so I still persevered, and I'm so glad I did, because the 4th book of the Twisted Love series is by far my favourite. Absolutely loved that. And then I started with the Kings of Sin series. I think I've read the first 2 books. I'm due to read the third book on that one, but I'm reading The Maid, which I didn't bring in with me. Let me go grab that really quickly. Let me just read a little bit of the blurb inside for you. It says here, Molly the maid is all alone in the world and nobody. She's used to being invisible in her job at the Regency Grand Hotel, plumping pillows, wiping away the grime, dust and secrets of the guests passing through. She's just a maid. Why should anyone take notice? But Molly is thrown into the spotlight when she discovers an infamous guest, Mr. Black, very dead in his bed. This isn't a mess that can be easily cleaned up. And as Molly becomes embroiled in the hunt for the truth, following the clues, whispering in the hallways, she discovers a power she never knew was there. She's just a maid, but what can she see that others overlook? Escapist, charming, and introducing a truly original heroine, The Maid is a story about how the truth isn't always black and white. It's found in the dirtier, grey areas in between. Interesting. So yeah, that's what I'm reading at the minute, and I think that the battery's about to go. So thank you so much if you've stayed and watched this episode. Thank you so much. It's so lovely to be here to chat to you, share with you what I've been up to, what I've been knitting, what I plan to knit next. Stay tuned towards the end. I'll pop some clips in so you can see what we've all been getting up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care everyone. Bye.